Peace. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful Sunday. We're gonna get started in a second. You know you gotta play some jams to get the mood right. You feel? And we're gonna go to the good old tried and true. Actually, we go with the sevens. We'll go with the sevens today. Well, not that commercial. We go with that commercial. All right. All right. Peace. Peace, freedom, and justice. All right. No disrespect to the six guy. That's six. He was rolling with them. Hey, you know it. He was rolling with them sevens. He was rolling with them sevens. He was rolling with them. He was rolling with them sevens. Rolling with the sevens, though. Said I'm rolling with the sevens, though. Sevens up.
Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to come among us. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Noble Drew Ali, that was his name. To help us know ourselves, that's why he came. That is when it kills. Once you know the truth and change your eyes, you can see our people for we are, not the lies. Our ancestors great, man, they really had the sauce. Hella culture to the world. Man, y'all ain't keep it thorough. Always doing love, that's probably why it hurt. My people want serenity. And it seems like y'all want some more enemies. We all about love. We all about peace. Throw them sevens up when you see us in the streets. You know we do the sevens. Okay. Hit them with the love. Okay.
You know this feel like hell. Oh yeah. Sevens up right there.
Sevens up like that.
For others to understand who we are. You know, they place labels on us, try to identify us in ways that remove us from our divinity, calling us everything outside of what we truly are. And what happens when we identify with the name or label that someone else has given us? We forget our divinity, who we truly are. See, the thing about language is that it has the same dual nature as everything else. It can be beautiful, but at the same time, it can be stifling to our nature. So when we identify with something that limits us to the material realm, it strips us of our divinity. We are beyond labels. We are made in Supreme's likeness. Wake up, divine man. You are creators with the same likeness. See, a divine man represents the will. And when a divine man has the will to do something, and he directs his will with the spiritual power of the divine woman, oh, the beauty in what you can create. Everything around us is because we created it. Let's get your divinity. We're waiting on you, divine man.
We waiting on you, divine man. We gotta wake up. All right, the sevens, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling good today as well. Good today. Boop. Turn that off. Let me get the link for you real quick. We are on chapter 39, y'all. Chapter 39, man. You done came a long way, man. All right, let me get down to business. Peace, peace, peace. I'm Rami Salam Mel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We are studying this Moorish Koran class. We are studying the Holy Quran, Circle 7, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It was divinely prepared by the noble prophet, Drew Ali. And he's a universal prophet. He came for all of humanity. But he came specifically for so-called black people, so-called Negroes, so-called coloreds, because we needed him the most. We was really struggling out here. So we've been going over chapter by chapter. Today we are on chapter 39, which is entitled Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. And, man, this is a long chapter. It has quite a few words that needs to be looked up. And to be honest with you, before we even get started, Superfluous, that's the one I saw. Before I even get started reading this, please understand with this chapter, this is one of the chapters that I myself need to study much more in depth. So forgive me if I don't have too much insight on this chapter. Some of it is still some things that I'm working on understanding and contemplating on and reflecting on. But that's what this is about. It's about studying. It's about learning. It's about growing. Peace, Moreno L. That artist name, the artist name on the sevens is called Panahuchi. Sister, beautiful sister, helped me out. Did an amazing job with that piece. I really love that song. But let me focus. Let's get to reading the chapter, and then we'll look up some of the words. I'll talk about a few of the things that stand out to me, and then we'll go from there. Okay, there it is. Sorry, I just seen another word I wanted to look up. Rapine, superfluous. I'm going to look that one up. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Superfluous.
Got it. Superfluous. All right, so let's get started. Chapter 39. Holy Instructions from the Prophet, the Pinnacle of Wisdom. As the eye of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the owl, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture. Excuse me. Or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man. Though bright, it dazzleth not. Though obscure, it displeaseth not. Though sweet, it cloyeth not. Though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Yet who is he that knoweth its true value? Learn to esteem as it ought, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom. Think not with the fool that nothing is more valuable, nor believe with the pretended wise that thou oughtest to condemn it. Love it not for thyself, but for the good it may be of to others. Gold cannot buy it for thee. Neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment that hast now lost it. Employ the succeeding ones in virtue. Say not that it were best not to have been born, or, if born, that it has been best to die early. Neither dare thou to ask of thy Creator, where has been the evil had I not existed? Good is thy power, the want of good is evil. And if thy question be just, lo, it condemneth thee. Would the fish swallow the bait if he knew the hook were hidden therein? Would the lion enter the toils if he saw they were prepared for him? So neither were the soul to perish with this clay, neither would a merciful Father have created him. No hence thou shalt live afterwards. As the bird enclosed in the cage before he seeth it, yet teareth not his flesh against its sides, so neither labor thou vainly to run the state thou art in, but know it is allotted thee, and be content with it. Though its ways are uneven, yet are they not all painful. Accommodate thyself to all, and where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. When the bed is straw, thou sleepest in security. But when thou stretch thyself on roses, beware of the thorns. A good death is better than an evil life. Strive therefore to live as long as thou oughtest, not as long as thou can. While thy life is to others worth more than thy death, it is thy duty to preserve it. Complain not with the fool of thy shortness of thy time. Remember that with thy days thy cares are shortened. Take from the period of thy life the useless part of it, and what remaineth. Take off the time of thy infancy, thy second infancy of age, thy sleep, thy thoughtless hours, thy days of sickness, and even at the fullness of years, how few seasons hast thou truly numbered? He who gave thee life as a blessing shortened it to make it more so. To what end would longer life have served thee? Wishest thou to have had an opportunity of more vices? As to the good, will not he who limited thy span be satisfied with the fruits of it? To what end, O child of sorrow, wilt thou live longer? To breathe, to eat, to see the world? All this has done often already. To frequent repetition, is it not tiresome? Or is it not superfluous? Still caught me on that one. Superfluous. Wouldst thou improve thy wisdom and thy virtue? Alas, what art thou to know? Or who is it that shall teach thee? Badly thou employest the little thou hast. Dare not therefore to complain that the more is not given thee. Repine not at thy want of knowledge. It must perish within the grave. Be honest here, thou shalt be wise hereafter. Say not unto the crow, why numbereth thou 7 times thy Lord? Or to the fawn, why are thine eyes to see my offspring 100 generations? Are these to be compared with thee in the abuse of life? Are they riotous? Are they cruel? Are they ungrateful? Learn from them, rather, that innocence of manners are the paths of good old age. Knowest thou to employ life better than these? Then less of it may suffice thee. Man who dares enslave the world, when he knows he can enjoy his tyranny but for a moment, what would he not aim at if he were immortal? That's a deep line. Man who dares enslave the world when he knows he can enjoy his tyranny but for a moment, what would he not aim at if he were immortal? Enough hast thou of life, but thou regardeth it not. Thou art not in want of it, O man, but thou art prodigal. Thou threwest it lightly away, as if thou had more than enough, and yet thou repine that it is not gathered again unto thee. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy. What does economy mean? Put that on here too. The wise continue to live from his first period. The fool is always beginning. Labor not after riches first, and think thou wilt afterwards enjoy them. He who neglecteth the present moment throweth away all that he hath. As the arrow passeth through the heart while the warrior knew not that it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before he knew that he hath it. What then is life, that man should desire it? What is breathing, that he should covet it? Is it not a scene of delusion, a series of misadventures, a pursuit of evils linked on all sides together? In the beginning it is ignorance, pain is in its middle, and its end is sorrow. As one wave pusheth evil to evil in the life of man, the greater in the present swallow up the lesser in the past. Our terrors are real evils. Our expectations look forward into impossibilities. Fools, to dread as morals, and to desire as if immortal. What part of life is it that we should wish to remain with us? Is it youth? Can we be in love with outrage, licentiousness, and temerity? I don't know what those words mean. Excuse me. I gotta write that down. Temerity. Is it age? Then we are found in infirmities. It is said, gray hairs are revered, and length of days in honor. Virtue can add reverence to the bloom of youth, and without it, age plants more wrinkles in the soul than on the forehead. Is age respected because it hateth riot? What justice is in this, when it is not age that despiseth pleasure, but pleasure that despiseth age? Be virtuous while thou art young, so shall thine age be honored. Whoo-wee, man. This is a deep chapter. Peace, peace, peace. Moreno, Anya. The deity said it. Proverbs 7:4, King James. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. Thank you. Let's get into some of the definitions real quick, and then I'm going to read back over a few lines and then talk about it real quick. Excuse me. Let's go with that first one, cloyeth. Cloyeth. But I'm gonna look up just the root word cloy. Cloy. Let's see what we got here. And today I am reading out of the Oxford. The New Oxford American Dictionary of the English Language. Dictionary, or no, you say English language, bro. Cloy. Cloy means disgust or sicken someone with an excess of sweetness, richness, or sentiment. Original, late Middle English, stop up, choke, drive a nail into. So, cloy is disgust, to disgust or sicken someone with an excess of sweetness. So, reading back the line in chapter 39, it says, though bright, it dazzleth not. And I think it is referring to life. Though bright, life dazzleth not. Though obscure, life displeaseth not. Though sweet, life cloyeth not. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's life they're referring to. Though sweet, it cloyeth not. And cloy means disgust or sicken someone with an excess of sweetness. So yeah, though life is sweet, it's not extra sweet. It's not going to disgust you with the extra sweetness. Though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Yet who is he that knoweth true value? Cloy, superfluous. That's the next one I wanted to look up. Superfluous. I got it down now. What you know about that superfluous? Can you pronounce that? Let's see here. And if you don't know how to use a dictionary, the technique that I was taught and I use is you take the first three letters of the word that you're looking up, find that. So this word is superflous. So I'm going for sup. I'm going for SUP first. And then once you get SUP, you go letter by letter till you find the word. SUP, superheat. Okay. A little too far. SUPERF. SUPERF. SUPERFEI. Superfine. Superfluity. Superfluous. Here we go. Superfluous, adjective. Unnecessary, especially through being more than enough. Superfluous. Unnecessary, especially through being more than enough. And I saw superfluous. Got it. Line 17. To what end, O child of sorrow, wilt thou live longer? To breathe, to eat, to see the world? All this have done often already. The frequent repetition, is it not tiresome? Is it not superfluous? Is it not unnecessary through being more than enough? Because we done it already. Okay, superfluous. Repine. Repine is the next word. REPINE. 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 REPA. REPR. A little too far. REPL. A little too far. REPE. Repine. Here we go. Repine is to feel or express discontent or fret. Repine is to feel or express discontent and fret. And where did I see repine at? Repine not at the want of knowledge, it must perish within the grave. So repine again means to feel or express discontent. So don't express or feel discontent at the want of knowledge. It must perish within the grave. Okay. And I feel like repine was used in another place. We're gonna keep pushing. Oh, there it goes. Though thou threwest it lightly away as if thou had more than enough, and yet thou repineth that it is not gathered again to thee. And thou express discontent or fret that it is not gathered again unto thee, referring to life. We throw the life, we threweth it lightly away as if we've had more than enough, and yet we express discontent that life is not gathered again unto thee. Come on now. Licentious. Well, I'll look up to licentious. What was that licentious at? Line 31. Line 31. Licentious is Licentious. Licent. Boom. There we go. Licentious. Derivatives of licentiousness. Licentious is promiscuous and unprincipled in sexual manners. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. What part of life is it that we wish to remain with us? Is it youth? Can we be in love with outrage, licentiousness, promiscuous and unprincipled sexual matters, and temerity? Can we be in love with outrage, promiscuous and unprincipled in sexual manners, and temerity? Let me look up temerity. Boy, this book is kind of deep on us, man. Temerity is spelled Temerity. There we go, right there. Excessive confidence or boldness, audacity. Wow. Man, I'm glad I looked the word up. Can we be in love with outrage, promiscuousness, or unprincipled in sexual manners, or excessive confidence or boldness, audacity? Can we be in love with those things? Is it age? If so, then we are found in infirmities. Man, deep lines here. All right, so there's more words that I could look up, but the point here is, when studying on your own especially, don't read past a word that you don't know, because I didn't even have these words underlined, so I didn't do a good job of studying my first time through this book, or first time through this chapter or whatever. I read it much times, but my point is, when you're reading to yourself and studying, whether it be the Quran, Circle 7, or whatever you're studying, if you see a word that you don't know, it's unfamiliar, you're not sure what it means, take a moment, pull out the dictionary, pull up, Google, hit define, put the word in, and understand what it means. Then go back to the sentence, read it a few times to really get an understanding of what's being said. Powerful. Let me put a note to that. Licentiousness and temerity. Okay. And then for me, personally, the lines that I had underlined and kind of highlighted. Line 10 in chapter 39. When thy bed is straw, thou sleepeth in security. But when thou stretch thyself on roses, beware of the thorns. Powerful. And then the line right before, let me get that one too. Accommodate thyself to all, and where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. Powerful, man. Where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger. Be careful now. Be careful. I wanted to highlight. Oh, that was it right there. Line 26. Labor not after riches first, and think thou wilt afterwards enjoy them. He who neglecteth the present moment throweth away all that he hath. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. At my job, I used to work with this cat. Well, not cat. I used to work with his brother, and he was talking to me about retirement. And he was saying, man, I could retire right now if I wanted, and I got these plans. I want to go do this and do that. I want to do some traveling, spend some time with my children and my nieces or something like that. And he was saying that, but if I stay for like 3 more years here and I take this shift, it'll up my retirement package or whatever, my money, it'll up it, I think he said $1,000 or whatever, 1,500, let's call it that. He was like, so I think I'm gonna stay for another 3 years and, you know, get squeezed out as much as I can and then retire. And I was telling him, I was like, man, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm trying to push you out the door, but I humbly would do my best to enjoy life right now if I could. Um, because you don't really know what's gonna happen in 3 years. You know what I mean? And this line just kind of it made me think back on that, and it kind of hammers that point home that we can't be so caught up in it's the grind. I'm grinding, 24/7, 365, no sleep, no days off. I gotta get it every day. I'm getting up and hustling. I'm gonna grind all day, no sleep. Once I get my million, then I'm gonna enjoy life. Labor not after riches first, and think that you will enjoy them afterwards. He who neglecteth the present moment throw away all that he hath. And man, I know that to be true in so many different ways, man. I often tell my friends and family, loved ones, to cherish the moment because tomorrow is not promised. Um, the next hour is not promised. Things can change just like that. As we know, from going from 2019 to 2020, who would have thought our entire way of life and society, all of that was going to change, with the whole Rona situation. So man, if it's one thing out of that chapter that I think that I want to hammer home is, do your best to appreciate the moment, appreciate the time that we have right now. Don't get so caught up in trying to make plans for 5, 10, 15 years down the line. Don't, sacrifice your enjoyment of right now and today thinking, oh, I'm going to just save up all of this money. And when I get to age 45, then I can enjoy it. Find a way every single day that you're alive to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the day. Observe the beauty of nature. Listen to the birds chirping. Appreciate that sip of water. You know what I mean? The grass. I don't know if you by a lake or the ocean, the mountains, the forest, city life, a ranch if you're living on a farm. Whatever it is that you have in your life, do your best to appreciate and cherish this moment and cherish what you do have. Because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone what's going to happen 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. And I think that Pinnacle of Wisdom, that's the main thing I kind of wanted to highlight today. That one is what speaks to me a lot. Oh, I was supposed to look up economy. My fault. Oh, and I'll just highlight this one right here. Last one. I'm going to look up economy, actually. It is said, gray hairs are revered and lengths of days in honor. And length of days in honor. Virtue can add reverence to the bloom of youth. And without virtue, age plants more wrinkles in the soul than on the forehead. So you gotta have virtue. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up virtue real quick. Because that's a word that sometimes get tossed around and it's like, oh yeah, I know what virtue means. But do we really know what it means? So it don't take much to take a second to look it up. Virtue And if you have any questions, you go ahead, type them real quick. Virtue, virtue, virtue. Behavior showing high moral standards, a quality considered morally good or desirable in a person, a good or useful quality or thing. Yeah. In Old Middle English, the origin, virtu, virtuous, from Latin, valor, merit, moral perfection. Okay. Behavior showing high moral standards, the quality considered morally good. So, when you have the quality of being morally good and high standards, when you are young, it adds reverence to the bloom of youth. Your age will be honored if you're virtuous when you're young. But without virtue, without good moral, what did it say again? Without high moral standards, quality considered morally good, if you don't have that quality about you, then age will plant more wrinkles in your soul than on your forehead. So you'll be looking old in the face and even older in your soul, and even more tired and weary in your soul. So have some virtue. Add some virtue to your life. And economy. Economy. EC Edify, ecology, economy. Economy. Economy means the wealth and resources of a country or region, especially in terms of the production or consumption of goods and services, a particular system or stage of an economy, careful management of available resources, careful management of available resources, sparing or careful use of something. Offering the best value for the money. Got you. Origin, late 15th century, in the sense management of material resources. Household management, Latin from Greek, oikonomia, household management. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy. It's not about having just an abundance of everything and resources that make you rich, but it's about the careful and sparing use of something. Oh, man, you got to look words up, what? You got to look them up, man. Learn something new every day. Oh, I've seen that. Appreciate. I'll look up the word righteousness. Shout out to Jay Sniggle, Jay Liggins. That's what I'm gonna say. My bad, I can't pronounce that first one. But righteousness. Look up righteousness. Where are we at? And Jay Liggins said that righteousness is found only 4 times in the whole Bible. Interesting. Righteous, rightful, righteous. Righteous, derivative is righteousness. So righteous, morally right or justifiable. Virtuous. Oh, look at how we coming back around on things. Perfectly wonderful, fine, and genuine. When you get into the etymology, origin, Old English, from right, wis, manner, state, and condition. The change in the ending was due to association with the words. So the right manner, state, or condition, and the morally right, righteous is morally right or justifiable, virtuous. So we're talking about righteousness. We're talking about being morally right and justifiable, being virtuous. That take we just was talking about virtuous. Be virtuous while thou art young, while thou art young. Be righteous, have righteousness while you are young, so shall thy age be honored. Come on now. Come on now. Look how we doing things. Let's see, I think. Is there anything else that I wanted to highlight? He who gave thee life as a blessing, shorten it to make it even more so. You know what I mean? Our Creator who gave us life, even shorten it. Matter of fact, I'll highlight that before I get up out of here, because I did like that part. Excuse me. Pardon me. This part right here, line 14. All right, I'll start from line 12. Complain not with the fool of thy shortness of thy time. Remember that with thy days the cares are shortened. Take from the period of thy life the useless part of it and what remaineth. Take off the time of thy infancy, because we don't know what we're doing when we infants. Thy second infancy of age, that's when we get old and we kind of return to infancy stage. Thy sleep, right? So knock off all the hours that we've been sleeping in our life. Thy thoughtless hours when we just, yeah, I mean, we ain't really thinking. We just out here. Thy days of sickness, when we can't really, yeah, I mean, get up and go. When you strip away all of that, and even at the fullness of years, how few seasons hast thou truly numbered? When you take away all of those other aspects of our life that we're not really active and not, not living life to the fullest, how much time do we really use? How much time do we really have? And do we use it to the max? He who gave thee life as a blessing, shorten it to make it more so. That's why we got to appreciate the life that we have. Appreciate the time that we have. Our Creator, gave us all an allotted amount of time to live this life. I humbly suggest that we all do our best to appreciate the life. Appreciate the life, not take it for granted, not complain, do our best not to complain, and do our best to live life. You know what I mean? Don't just go through life, but really and truly live the life that you have. Yeah, thank you for that. Jay Liggins, the word righteousness. That was chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. Coming from the Holy Koran, Circle 7. Next week, we get into the last chapters. Chapter 40, the instability of man. Holy Instructions from the Prophet. It's a deep chapter 2. It's a deep chapter 2. We're gonna get to that one. Yeah, that's all for today out of the Quran. Did you have anyone else out there have any more questions about chapter 39? Anything related to more science, Noble Dry Lee, etc.? Let me know right now. Otherwise, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. I appreciate you tapping in early in the morning with me. Yeah, I think that's about gonna do it today, man. I don't see any more questions coming through. So, without further ado, I'm gonna get on out of here. Again, study the information and the teachings and the guidance and the laws and the wisdom that Noble Drew Ali brought to us. A divine prophet, universal prophet, came for all of us. Came specifically for so-called black people because we was out here doing bad. Study the information and get into that dictionary, understand what the words are saying, and study everything. You know what I mean? Study all the true and divine prophets. Yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. And most importantly, as I close out, most importantly, with whatever you're doing, especially when you're living your life, especially when you're studying more science, put the love in it. Get some love in your heart. Get some love in it. Love instead of hate. That is the key. That is the way. Man, that's it. I'm done. Much love to you. Enjoy the day. Keep shining. Peace. Boom. Got him.